General Hospital spoilers reveal that John Lindstrom, who portrays Kevin, has officially joined CBS's new TV project Beyond the Gates, which almost confirms that Kevin's character will no longer appear on General Hospital. But what's more significant is that Kevin's death is not just a departure, it is a deliberate murder, a dark plot that had been planned in advance. And the mastermind behind this crime is none other than Jen Sidwell. Kevin's death is not only a massive loss for Port Charles, but also a terrifying warning about the power Sidwell wields. Sidwell is not just a manipulator, but a cold-blooded murderer, willing to eliminate anyone who dares to stand in his way. When Laura tries to maintain her stance against Sidwell's plans, he realizes that she won't be easily subdued. And when psychological tactics fail, he resorts to more ruthless measures, eliminating Kevin to force Laura to yield. The murder is carried out in a sophisticated and brutal manner. Kevin may have suffered a perfectly staged accident, or Sidwell might have used digitalis, the same drug Cyrus used to take down Lucky. Either way, all evidence points to Sidwell, who has been secretly orchestrating everything from the shadows. When Kevin's death is announced, Laura is completely devastated. But this shock doesn't just represent personal grief, it's also a declaration of war from Sidwell. He wants to send a clear message: no one can stop him without paying the price. However, what he didn't expect is that Laura is not the type of person to back down from a threat. Kevin's death not only causes Laura to explode in anger but also stirs up rage from others in town. Jason and Sonny quickly realize that if Sidwell could kill Kevin, anyone could be next. Carly, who had long suspected Sidwell, now has even more reason to oppose him. But the most terrifying thing is that Sidwell has no intention of stopping. He's gone too far, and he knows he can't turn back. If Laura, Jason, or Sonny want revenge, he will have to strike first. Kevin's death is only the beginning of a series of ruthless actions Sidwell has planned. Port Charles is facing a more dangerous storm than ever before. As Kevin's death becomes the focal point and Sidwell's schemes gradually come to light, it's only a matter of time before a real battle erupts. And this time, there's no room for mercy. Sidwell has entered a path with no way out, and the first person he must face may be Laura, the woman who will never accept defeat. Kevin's office will be burned in a mysterious fire, sending Port Charles into another shockwave. This isn't an accident, but a deliberate act, ruthlessly staged to eliminate evidence or send a clear warning to anyone who dares oppose the rising power in town. As the flames consume Kevin's familiar space, questions begin to arise. Who is behind this, and what does it have to do with Kevin's death? Laura, who tragically lost Kevin, can hardly believe what's happening. When she arrives at the scene of the fire and sees the remnants of her late husband's office, another shock hits her. This isn't just vandalism, this is a threatening message, an event designed to push her into panic. The changes in town are happening too quickly, and Laura realizes she can't sit idly by. If someone could coldly burn down Kevin's office, what could happen next? Is this part of Sidwell's plan to force her to submit? Or is there another hidden enemy lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike? While Laura struggles to find answers, the fire has caused a chain reaction. Kevin's important documents have been burned, potentially containing information that the firestarter doesn't want to be discovered. If Kevin had ever investigated or recorded anything crucial, the person behind the fire may have decided to erase all traces in this way. Carly and Sonny immediately sensed the danger in this incident. Sonny understands how ruthless people use terror to intimidate their enemies, and this seems like a direct warning aimed at Laura. Carly, who has long suspected Sidwell, now has even more reason to believe he is behind it all. But the biggest question remains: why now? If Sidwell or some other enemy wants to cover up traces, did Kevin leave something important that no one has found yet? Perhaps a larger secret is being concealed under the ashes, a truth that someone is willing to kill for and destroy everything to protect. Laura cannot back down, even though the pain of Kevin's death is still fresh. She knows she must confront the force behind this event before it's too late. But does she have enough time? And could this be the final blow, or just the beginning of a series of darker events awaiting Port Charles? Port Charles is entering a phase filled with conspiracies and dangers. As secrets turn to ash and hidden enemies begin to reveal themselves, one thing is certain: the real storm is yet to come, and when it hits, no one will escape. Laura is entering a battle she never imagined she would face, a battle not only to uncover the person who killed Kevin but also to protect Port Charles from the dark forces looming over it. She knows she can't do this alone. But in a world full of plots and betrayals, who can she truly trust? Kevin's death has thrown Laura into a storm of mysteries and dangers. Kevin's office was burned down, and any evidence that could help her uncover the truth has turned to ashes. All signs point to this not being an accident but a calculated act designed to silence a key witness. But who would want Kevin dead? And more importantly, who carried out the act? In her desperation, Laura turns to those she once trusted, hoping to receive help. Then, an unexpected proposition appears from someone she never anticipated: Drew. Drew approaches Laura with a confident attitude, promising that he can help her find Kevin's killer. But this comes at a price. He makes a condition: Laura must consider cooperating with him in a plan to take control of Sunny's docks. Laura immediately feels that something is off. Drew is no longer the man she once knew. He is no longer the soldier with integrity. Now, he acts like a man with a thirst for power, willing to do whatever it takes to achieve his goal. But what truly frightens Laura is the alliance between Drew and Jen Sidwell. As she digs deeper, she realizes that Drew has become part of Sidwell's larger plan. His offer to help her could just be a trap, a way to control her and force her to accept his terms. Laura knows that if she accepts Drew's offer, she might be pulled into a dangerous spiral with no escape. But if she refuses, she could lose the only opportunity to uncover the truth about Kevin's death. This is not just a personal decision. This is a life-or-death battle between her and those trying to manipulate the city. Every passing day, Laura becomes more aware that Kevin's death was not just a random murder, it's part of a larger conspiracy to seize power in Port Charles. And if she's not careful, she could be the next victim. Meanwhile, Drew continues to sink deeper into his alliance with Sidwell. He is no longer the man his friends once knew. He has become an ambitious figure, willing to do anything to secure his place in the town. If that means eliminating Laura or anyone who dares stand in his way, he won't hesitate. The tension between Laura and Drew intensifies. Laura knows she must act quickly, but she's unsure if she can fight both Drew and Sidwell at the same time. She needs to find a way to turn the tide, but who will stand by her side? Sunny, Carly, and Jason are all watching every development with growing concern. They know Sidwell is dangerous, but now that Drew has joined his side, things have gotten much worse. If Drew and Sidwell are truly plotting to take control of Port Charles, this may be the biggest battle they've ever faced. Laura doesn't have much time left. She must decide quickly: should she accept Drew's help, even though she knows he may be manipulating her? Or should she find another way to face Sidwell, even if it means confronting unpredictable dangers? Port Charles is standing on the brink of a new war, a war not just for power but for the confrontation between truth and lies, justice and ambition. And Laura, no matter how much she suffers from Kevin's death, will not back down. One thing is certain: when the secrets are exposed and the manipulators are revealed, no one in Port Charles will be safe anymore. And if Drew truly has become Sidwell's ally, then he may be the most dangerous enemy Laura has ever faced. The storm of power has begun, and when everything explodes, only one side can win. But Laura will not stop. She will find the person who killed Kevin, even if it means confronting the most dangerous people in Port Charles. Laura is undergoing a profound transformation after unimaginable tragedies. Kevin's death was a crushing blow to her soul, but when even Lucky falls into danger after Sidwell's brutal attack, something within her changed forever. The pain of losing two of her closest loved ones has turned her into a different person, a Laura no longer patient, no longer believing in the slow justice of the legal system. She's too familiar with promises of justice that never come to fruition. And now, she no longer wants to stand by and watch those who caused her tragedy continue to go free. Port Charles is witnessing the rise of a completely different Laura, a woman no longer bound by old rules, no longer the mayor who cares only about political gain or making peace. These losses have awakened something deep inside her, a resolve, unshakable, to hunt down and destroy those who took her family away. In the past, Laura always believed there was another way to resolve things, that intelligence and patience could win over her enemies. But now, she realizes that the world doesn't work that way. Kevin is dead, Lucky may never recover, and all she has left is rage and profound sorrow. If she doesn't rise up to protect herself, who will? Those who once exploited Laura's softness and kindness to manipulate power will now have to face a completely different version of her. Sidwell made a huge mistake when he thought he could threaten or control her. He was wrong to think she would be weak and easily back down under pressure. Because Laura is no longer afraid. Those around her are beginning to notice this change. Sunny, Carly, and Jason all feel that Laura has entered a path she's never walked before. She is no longer waiting to be protected, she is transforming herself into an unstoppable force. Sunny has seen many destroyed by rage and the thirst for revenge, but even he can't be sure what will happen when Laura fully commits to this fight. Carly, who knows the pain of losing loved ones better than anyone, knows that Laura is standing on the edge of danger and madness. And Jason, the calm one in every situation, understands that once Laura has decided to seek justice in her own way, nothing will stop her. Meanwhile, Drew is stuck between his own ambitions and his growing ties with Sidwell. He knows that if Laura decides to hunt down Sidwell, he will become a target too. But will Drew truly have the clarity to escape this dangerous path? Or will he continue to sink deeper into the darkness, becoming an enemy to the very person who once was his ally? Sidwell, who is always confident in his ability to control the situation, may have misjudged Laura. He may think that killing Kevin would force her to cooperate, that pushing Lucky into danger would break her spirit. But he didn't anticipate that these losses wouldn't make her weaker. In fact, they've made her stronger and more determined than ever. Port Charles is becoming a battlefield. The underground forces are fighting for control, enemies are exploiting chaos to solidify their positions. But none of them realize that Laura is the most dangerous variable in this game. She has nothing left to lose, and that makes her an enemy no one can afford to underestimate. If Sidwell thinks he can manipulate Laura, he will soon realize that he's made the biggest mistake of his life. And if Drew continues to side with Sidwell, he may not escape the storm that's coming. Laura's fury is not just a fleeting outburst of emotion, it's a permanent change within her. When she embarks on this path, there will be no turning back. And once the truth about Kevin and those behind it is revealed, Port Charles will never be the same again. The storm has arrived, and when it sweeps through, only the strongest will stand firm. But this time, Laura is no longer an outsider, she is at the center of the storm, and she will not stop until those who destroyed her life pay.